The season begins in a lively restaurant, where a waitress moves swiftly, ensuring all her customers are satisfied. As she approaches one table to take an order, she recognizes a man but hides her reaction. She hands them menus and walks away. Later, as the night nears its end, the man approaches her, apologizing and saying he wouldn't have come if he knew she worked there. She tells him their son needs surgery, but she's not referring to the boy at the table, she means their son. She accuses him of neglecting his own child and never supporting him. When she gets home, we see her son, but soon after, she receives an unexpected visit from her ex's new wife, who bluntly informs her that they won't be giving her any money. Meanwhile, in a distant shelter, a voice narrates how even the impending apocalypse isn't an excuse to neglect daily routines like brushing teeth. Life in the shelter follows a strict schedule. Breakfast, exercise, and learning to maintain generators are critical after the sun mysteriously darkened. Zara and her son Dominic are among those in the shelter. Suddenly, a fire breaks out in the storage area, destroying most of the food, causing tension among the residents. The shelter's commander, a colonel, decides a team must travel to Norway to retrieve supplies from an underground base. As events unfold, we learn the military controls all decisions, and the sun has become so radioactive that it obliterates nearly all life and strips food of its nutritional value. Horst, a scientist, tests materials by exposing rats to radiation under various coverings to find one that might offer protection. So far, all the rats perish. Dominic, despite Zara's disapproval, helps Horst catch rats. One night, Dominic sneaks out, and Zara chases after him, accidentally locking them both in the generator room. With no way out, Sylvie instructs them to shut down the generator to avoid electrocution. This, however, raises the temperature dangerously, forcing a team to retrieve a flamethrower from an airbase to cut through the door and restore power before extreme heat kills everyone. Jacob, Sylvie, and the colonel reach the airbase but find it destroyed. The colonel notes that the sun couldn't have caused such damage, a missile must have. In a flashback, Laura, Horst's assistant, participates in a CPR class while a teammate persistently asks her on a date. She refuses, but he teases that she's rejecting him because he's Moroccan. Eventually, she agrees to a date, but her father intervenes, scolding her for disgracing the family. Back at the shelter, desperate efforts to free Zara and Dominic continue. The colonel leads Jacob and Sylvie back to the base's entrance, searching for tools. He stresses the urgency of reaching Norway, suspecting the Russians might have destroyed the airbase to claim supplies first. Inside the generator room, Zara attempts to escape by breaking an air pipe, but both she and Dominic fall. Meanwhile, the colonel finds the corpse of a despised military major, handcuffed. He suspects Sylvie, but Jacob dismisses it, saying no one liked the man anyway. Tensions escalate as soldiers Felipe and Hermans, impatient and armed, threaten to kill Zara's friends unless the generator is restarted. The colonel returns just as Ayat seizes the moment to attack. Gunfire erupts, and the colonel is accidentally killed. Trapped inside, Zara realizes they won't be rescued in time. She turns the generator back on, sealing their fate. Ayat grieves, while Felipe and Hermans vow revenge. Later, Sylvie confides in Jacob, revealing why she handcuffed the major. Jacob reassures her, saying she owes no explanation. Meanwhile, Felipe discovers a USB in the colonel's jacket, containing footage of Sylvie restraining the major, and he and Hermans plan to retaliate. Another flashback follows In's returning to her hometown, greeted by her mother, who comments on her regained weight. Her father warns her against reconnecting with an ex, blaming him for past troubles. At the shelter, Ins and Hermans, distracted by music while cooking, accidentally ignite the fire that consumed their food supply. That night, a group gathers outside to decide who will search nearby airports for planes to reach Norway. Felipe insists Sylvie stay behind, as civilians trust her leadership. Before leaving, they hold a memorial for Zara and Dominic, with old man Rick delivering a eulogy. As civilians search for a plane, Sylvie orders Felipe to vacate the colonel's quarters for AIATs. Meanwhile, Laura confronts Horst about his odd behavior. He admits he loves her but believes she loves AIATs. Later, she visits Horst, confessing that he was wrong as she loves him, not AIATs. They nearly kiss before Felipe interrupts with urgent news. Outside, Inz opens up to Sylvie about her past struggles with weight loss, revealing her battle with an eating disorder. They're soon summoned to the control room, where Felipe declares Sylvie will stand trial for her actions. In the air, the pilots ask AIATs what to do if the Russians refuse to share supplies. AIATs coolly responds that as long as there are fewer than 17 Russians, they'll be fine here because that's how many bullets he has. Back at the shelter, soldiers interrogate civilians. Laura denies knowledge of Sylvie's crime, and Horst argues the footage lacks context. The screen fades to black. Subscribe and hit that like here button to help our channel grow. Turn the notifications on so you won't miss any of our new videos. Thanks for watching.